Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Dowd here, helping you close out another week of tech awesomeness. I mean, come on. We had a black hole. We had weird as hell phones. This was a good week to be a news dude. And today, I have some very good news indeed. It is April 12th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. I mean, I don't want to get caught up in hyperbole here. This isn't like, the first picture taken of a black hole good news, but it's still pretty good news. Disney spilled all the deets yesterday on its upcoming Disney Plus streaming service. You've got everything in the Marvel catalog, plus some extra goodies in the Marvel and Star Wars universes, and more. And all this for the low, low price of, well, I'll let Monica from Friends tell you.
Seven. There you are.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's right, just $7 per month or $70 for a year. Now, maybe I'm just in the throes of Avengers Endgame anticipation. Maybe. Okay, so I'm definitely in the throes of Endgame anticipation, but I could have seen this service going for double the price and millions of people paying for it. I mean, I pay $20 a year for Stargate Command, which is a god-awful app, but it lets me watch Stargate whenever I want. So $70 per year for an entire Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, and Disney catalog? Oh, and 30 seasons of The Simpsons on day one? That's a no-brainer, but that's not all. Disney Plus will be ad-free and work on DisneyPlus.com, mobile apps, smart TVs, Roku, PS4, and it'll include offline viewing out of the gate. Basically, this is Netflix, but not Netflix. And should Netflix be scared by this? Absolutely. Let's also not forget the original programming that's coming as well. From Star Wars, we have The Mandalorian and a new season of Star Wars Clone Wars. From Pixar, we get Forky Asks a Question from Toy Story. From Marvel, we're getting Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and WandaVision. And just when I thought we were going to go a full day without saying a stupid name, this has been a bad week for naming things, I'll admit that. But you know what's more scary than WandaVision's bad name? Money. You see, $7 a month is not going to pay the bills. Disney already admitted that. But it's not just Disney. Netflix and Amazon are all hemorrhaging cash at an incredible rate for this original programming, all in an attempt to sign up more subscribers. The thing is, this is a limited space with limited numbers of people, so this isn't really going to be a sustainable model. The difference is for Disney and Amazon, they both have other businesses to draw from. Not so much Netflix. So what does this all mean? Well, it's probably only a matter of time before the subscription price for Disney jumps up, and probably jumps up a lot. But Disney has already talked about bundling in Hulu and ESPN Plus along with Disney Plus, and that's eye-opening as well. With a service like that out there, would Netflix even be worth it anymore? Honestly, probably not. In fact, the only reason I would keep Netflix would be because I'm a T-Mobile customer and I get it for free. But if I were paying for Netflix today, I can't honestly say I'd still be paying for it on November 12th when Disney Plus rolls out. I'm excited for Disney Plus, but of course at the end of the day, the proof will be actually in the pudding. So now that we all want pudding and we're going to raid the fridge for it, let's head into the roundup! The Trump administration plans to unveil a big 5G push with a new auction for more millimeter wave spectrum and a $20 billion with a B dollar fund to help subsidize deployment of fiber optic cable to rural and otherwise underserved areas. This is in response to China's advancement in 5G tech due in no small part to Huawei's telco technology, which the White House refuses to use, and honestly I can't say I blame them. Of course, this initiative is being headed by Ajit Pai, he of the stupidly large Reese's Pieces coffee mug, and the net neutrality slayer, so who knows what we'll all end up with when all's said and done. If you own a Nexus 6P that has been plagued with boot looping issues and you live in the United States, you might be entitled up to $400 in a class action lawsuit. I used to have a Nexus 6P, but I've since sold it, and not for $400, so I'm kind of mad about that. But then again, I didn't buy it for that much either, and I never had a boot loop issue, so I guess I'll get over it. But if you've got one, that might be worth looking into. You can use it to subsidize your next phone. And the number of nations who have successfully landed on the moon remains at 3. privately funded Israeli spacecraft Bereshit crashed into the lunar surface during its descent. Mission Control lost contact with the spacecraft as it was 149 meters above the lunar surface. Now, technically, it did land on the moon, just, not in the way that they intended. So, if nothing else, Israel joins the US, Russia, and China as nations who have successfully littered on the moon. So, that's something, right? And, not to brag or anything, but while the Israeli spacecraft was crashing to the moon, SpaceX launched and successfully landed all 3 of its rocket boosters in one of the most hypnotizing gifts of all time. The recovery of rocket boosters is essential in keeping costs down in space launches, and SpaceX is doing some great work in that regard. Maybe they can give the Israelis some pointers? Just a thought? Jeff Bezos wrote a letter to its investors talking up Amazon's best selling points and challenging retail competitors to match or exceed Amazon's $15 per hour minimum wage. He also talked about the power of failure and what he calls wandering. In business, he says it's important to have goals and to meet goals, but it's just as important to wander, which is to say, try stuff out and see what happens. He cites the Fire Phone as a failure, and dear Lord, was it a failure. But he also mentioned how that failure helped develop the Echo into what it is today, a glorified Pringles can that answers some of your questions and turns on your lights. That's actually not true, though, because I think a Pringles can would have better sound. And finally, Reddit asked the question, what movies were loved by audiences but hated by critics? And the answer is basically any movie I have ever loved. But the reason this makes our list is because of a shout out to the movie Stargate, the 1995 film with James Spader and Kurt Russell that spawned 10 seasons of Stargate SG-1, 5 seasons of Stargate Atlantis, 2 seasons of Stargate Universe, and well over a dozen deaths of Daniel Jackson. I mean, come on, any franchise that can successfully kill off a major character that many times must have something going for it, am I right? And with that, we are going to kill off today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and tell all your friends about DigitDailyPod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Dowd, Dead Technology on Twitter, and just like Daniel Jackson, I'll be back to life on Monday with more of your favorite news show.